All right, all right. Here we are once and again. We was with you guys on yesterday for the live video empowerment talk. I celebrated 38, which is great, you know. So now we're here tonight. I've been talking to you guys about the special guest that we're going to have as a part of Arise with David. Guys, I'm telling you, you're in for a treat. So at this moment in time, I want you guys that's logging on to share this, because this is going to be a dynamic interview. She has great things. She comes from a place that she wants to share with the nation, share with the world. And I know that it will impact you guys, because it impacted me to the point to compel my soul, compel my being to her, because she's just that real. She's just that authentic, you know. So go ahead, start sharing right now. Arise with David. We're here. We're on. Empowerment Talk is live and ready to go. Before we get into it, I do want to give props, as I do always in my video yesterday. I had 2 emails from some individuals that was listening into the live empowerment talk, and it was asking, man, where do you get your eye candy from? So I have to represent my cousin one more time. If you are looking for a place to go to get you some nice eye candy for your wrist, reach out to my cousin. Her name is Trakina Williams, and her Instagram page is badgirl, BADGIRL_1973. Hit her up and tell her that Arise with David sent you. All right? Cool. So, man, let's go ahead in this interview. Tracy, well, better known as NYC. I am just so glad and so elated that you took the invitation to come and, talk to Arise with David. I mean, because think about it. I mean, we're new, we're fresh, we're in our infancy stages, but count it not strange, small beginnings. You know what I'm saying? So one day, I'll be able to look back on how, we started this whole Arise with David movement, and the individuals that was so gracious to come and, lend me their time just to talk to some people to help impact this world. Okay, so we're going to get right into it. We do apologize for starting a little late. You know me, I'm bad with time, and those that are tuned in know that I'm that person where, time is not my best friend. But in 2019, actually, right now, I'm going to do better. I don't have to wait for a New Year's resolution. I can go ahead and make that resolve right now. So, Tracy, again, I'm so glad that you are here with Arise with David. So, look, tell us a little bit about yourself. So, I know when we were on the phone and we were talking about, you coming to talk to the people and share some of your personal experiences, you said, now, David, I'm not going to go by Tracy. I'm going to go by NYC. Right. So talk to us about, the whole NYC, where that comes from, and just tell us a little bit about yourself before we get into the interview.
Sure. Thank you first for having me. I'm elated, ecstatic, and thank you so much for giving me a forum to speak. I appreciate it. Yes. NYC comes from a history of things, mostly from a soul-gifted name, whispered in my ear during my practice one evening, and it's really Nakai. But it's, and that's my spiritual space. Yes. That's where that comes from. Yes. And I've shortened it because it's eclectic. Yes. When I just say NYC, it opens up another genre of things, The first thing I get is nice. And I say yes.
Right.
I am that.
Right, you are. You
yes.
are that.
I am nice.
Yes.
And then it skips to New York City. It's like, well, I'm eclectic like New York City.
Right.
You're getting a whole lot when you get NYC.
Amazing.
So with that being the case, that's pretty much where NYC comes from as to why I choose and prefer to be called NYC. Wow. Because it brings a conversation. Wow. And it opens up an era for people to be able to start wondering. And then I can capitalize on that by giving them some information. And then there you go, love begins.
Most definitely. And you said the key word, eclectic. It's very seldom that we run into individuals that live in their true self, be themselves. But to hear that word eclectic, I believe that all of us are eclectic people. you know? But there's something that's in us that we have to bring up out of ourselves so that eclecticness, if it's a word, can shine bright. So Tracy, now where are you originally from?
Well, I always say, I said this to you before,
Yes.
that I come from my mother's womb.
Yes.
Therefore, the space of the divine. So
Yes.
I'm from the universe, man,
Right.
like everyone else.
Right.
Everyone is a stardust from the universe
Right.
who landed in a womb, who
Yes.
decided their journey, and that is where I come from.
Yes.
On paper, Galveston, Texas.
Yes.
I'm a Texas island girl.
Yes,
So
yes,
the
yes.
first Victorian state. Not many people know that Victorian city is Galveston.
Yeah.
So
Oh wow, I didn't know that. That's
right. So
always learning, you know.
that's where I was born.
Good, cool. Well, man, I'm just so excited. I can't express enough just you accepting this invitation to come and talk to Arise with David. Through mutual individuals. My cousin, she's like my sister. I love that girl dearly. Toshiba, that's my girl. Through thick and thin, she's always there. I just had to give her props because if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't be right here today, you know. And there are individuals that come in your life that play a certain part to get you to where you need to be. So Sheba, we love you for that.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and get into this. So I've heard so many great positive things about you from Toshiba. Now it's the opportunity for us to get to know you and get to that transparent place, because there's this aura about you that just gravitates people to you, right? So immediately, you know, when I started thinking about these questions, I'm like, man, what can I talk to NYC about? Let me tell you, I want to know, like, what gives you your drive to be who you are, your drive to chase your aspirations, your drive to chase your ambitions. Like, what gives you your drive? Because I'm sure, you know, there's some experiences or whatever in life that has given you your drive. Just talk to us about, like, what has given you your drive in life.
Sure. The basic space would be my soul intent, my soul contract. And this journey began 6 years ago.
Wow.
Okay. 2013. The date is January 13, 2013.
Yeah.
Is when I decided I don't listen to me enough. I'm not paying attention. I
Wow.
wait for so many outside resources to give me what I'm looking for. When ultimately I had a conversation with my father, and I was like, one day I'm gonna find someone to love me the way that I love.
Oh.
And he gave me such a smack. And it wasn't like to be mean. It was to, hold up. Mm-hmm. Let me give you this understanding. Yeah. And no one's going to love you the way you love.
Wow.
It's impossible. You're one of a kind. Mm-hmm. And the love you're seeking is not out there. And at that time, I actually took it in a rebellious way, like, yes, I will find someone, blah, blah, blah. And then as I matured and became more closer and connected with self, then it hit me. He's absolutely right. Man, I'm not going to find someone to love me the way I love, because this is it.
Wow.
So what I'm looking for is the new eclecticness within.
Yes.
I can only get what I'm searching for inside of me.
Yes.
And that's where it resides, period. And I feel as though the divine allows so many things to happen.
Yes.
Experiences for me to deal with, more or less, in order for me to actually figure that out. Yeah. You know, to figure out that what you want, baby, is only inside of you.
Ooh.
And
wow.
Everyone spends so much time looking and searching. You're getting married, you're having babies, you're finding jobs, you're looking at homes, you're finding cars, you know, a genre of people, Vita and such. Yeah. To give you that fulfillment, which, if that's what you're looking for, baby, and it's outside of you, you're never going to find it.
Wow.
Ever.
Listen.
You're never going to find it. The search is not outside of you. The search is being still, be quiet, and it's inside.
Yes.
That's where it's at. And when I came to realize that, and I pushed the rebellion to the side, and I was like, you're right. Okay, so hold up. There's no one more patient with me like me. You know, I get into a moment or something happens, I'm not beating myself up. I don't, damn, or shit, or, you know, this, I don't curse myself. I don't talk ugly. I just say, okay, well, that happened. What's the resolution? What I do next?
Yes.
I'm patient with myself. So I'm not going to find that outside of me. Someone's going to have so much condition when I make a mistake. I am very unconditional when I make a mistake. I'm patient with the choices that I make. Okay, I made it.
Yes.
So now what do I do?
Yeah.
Rather it be in the benefit or the non-benefit, because I don't operate in wrong or right.
Right.
There's no such thing for me.
Yeah.
It's either a benefit or it's non-beneficial.
Yeah.
And in that space gives me the opportunity to actually recall, recant, and start over.
Wow.
And be patient with the process.
Wow.
So
patience.
the patience with myself gave me the opportunity to realize the first step that I'm not going to find that outside of me.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Then the next step was listening to myself. Okay. Because you spend a lot of time well, how does this look? Or what does this feel like? Or, what do you think? They don't have the answer for me. No one has that answer.
Wow.
I
Yes.
have that answer, and I alone.
Yes.
How does it feel? Someone can't tell me how what I got on feels.
Right.
Only I can tell how that feels.
Yes.
Thereon leads to other things. So patience and clarity, and then the most preciousness of them all is then the love.
Wow.
Because then it became, now you have a relationship. The relationship that I've been looking for all this time. I always had. I came to the planet with it.
Wow.
And it was with self. It was the soul.
Wow.
So and that's where things actually begin to merge.
Yes.
And the clarity is that when I realized that he was correct in being my guider in this particular setting, my father, expressing what you're looking for. And he did not allow it to say more. He just stopped there. What you're looking for, you're not going to find. Now you're going to figure the rest out.
Wow.
And he was correct.
Interesting.
Absolutely 1,000% correct.
Interesting. Man, you said something so profound. I'm not sure if you out there heard, but what she said was, what you want is inside of you. Don't you know we challenge ourselves and we beat ourselves up because we're out here giving and looking for, our employers and in these different institutions to give us what we need as far as, wealth in our hands. But what you need is inside of you. All of us are creators. We are creators. And she said a great thing. What you want is inside of you. But another good thing she said is that no one else can tell you who you are better than you. And in knowing that, define yourself. Know who you are. Like, once you know who you are, no one can deter you from knowing who you are. No matter if they bad talk you, no matter if they push you to the side and count you out, as long as you know who you are, you good. You straight.
That's right.
You straight.
There
You
is
straight.
no battle.
There is none. There is none. So, man, knowing that your drive, and I know you gave those 3 points and you ended with love. Love drives everything. Love drives everything. Love, positivity, all that good stuff. When you have people that show hate towards you and all this malice and stuff towards you, when you love them, you realize that, guess what? Baby, it's not on me.
That's right.
It's on you. You walk around mad. You walk around, in distress. But as far as for me, I have love all around me. I got love on my mind. That's the songwriter, right?
Right.
Now, in listening to you tonight talk about like what gives you your drive, I'm sure that had to come from personal experiences in your life.
Indeed.
If you was to segregate some of your personal experiences that has given you the drive that you have today, if you don't mind being transparent with us, what are some of those personal experiences that took place with you, NYC, that has gotten you to this optimistic level of life and to this level of life that, you're not letting nothing stop you from growing. You're not letting nothing stop you from moving forward. No matter how strong the force is, you will break through that force and persevere and press towards your drive. Like, what are some of those personal experiences?
Wow, there's so many.
Wow, I bet.
There's so many.
Yes.
And the best part is that I don't look like it. You know what I
wow.
mean? That's the best part. The best part is that I don't look like the many things that I've had to deal and go and grow through. So, I'm, as it always for most, I had some childhood recovery. You know, and I call it that because there are things that are habitually handed down to us that we have no control over in that time, in that frame. So you just deal with it. And then that opts you into having to have recovery time from that. So as a child, I am definitely the prodigy of your mother's good looking and your father is rich. That's real life for me. My father is a wealthy man and my mother is a damn good looking woman. You know, and they grew and had a situation and I became that product of that situation. But because they were children, they didn't make good choices, right? And so, and then when you don't have a lot of guidance as the mother of the child, you tend to not make even wiser choices, you know, and when you're displaced and you don't feel connected with the world, it is hard, or with yourself, most importantly, it is hard to actually be connected as a mother outside of the processes that brings you through motherhood. So we had that struggle and we didn't have placement. We didn't have, I was born in the world homeless. When I came into the world, we had no place to go, okay? And then life continued that way. Now, part of that is the roller coaster that I had a father who had a life that was different from what my mother's, and he went for it. Now, I don't fault him at all. He did what he needed to do. He was strong enough, and on top of that, he had a real support system to push him forward, to keep moving. So, which enabled him later in life to be what he needed to be for his children. Thank you, Baba. But, and thank you, Yeye. Because without that, I would not have had the opportunity to experience freedom. So with that childhood, there was a lot of abuse. There was mental, there was physical, because when you don't have direction and you turn to substances and other things, then it leaves you wide open to have to be susceptible to whatever comes your way. And I had to deal with that. I'm an only child for my mother. I'm the middle child for my father. So either way I go, I'm still a lone child. Do you understand? Not lonely, but a lone child. And the struggle was real, trying to figure out the balance between who am I? What am I? And because life was always moving so quickly, I didn't have time to sit and actually have a process. Like a lot of people get an opportunity to sit and think about, what's my name? Or how about, I didn't notice how to mole on my neck. I didn't know how to mole in my face. I never had an opportunity to actually look in my face in the mirror and see the color of my eyes. There were things I missed. I didn't even realize that my teeth were separated. Like I had spaces. Like the things that you see, I didn't see because I had so much struggling going. Food, shelter, protection. I had so many things going on and so much pain that I didn't even realize was pain. I just thought that was a part of living. A part of what we had to go through, my mother and I, you know? So with that added into being a young adult, you know, a young child, I switched from being with my mother and all that to now some stability, which was a shock for me because I was putting myself to bed. I was waking her up for work. I was not going to school or catching a busway across town or doing other things. And I was really grown at a really young age. And direction and authority and all that was just not a part of my life. My mother left it up to me to make choices, and that was because she was unable. She just wasn't strong enough to do certain things, and unfortunately left me to raise myself along with, to sometimes feel like raise her too, because I was pretty aware. I was really self-aware, and when I looked back over things, it's amazing how self-aware I really was. Like I knew how to be at home at a particular time. I knew to cook meals for myself. I knew to bathe and have things prepared for the next day. Like I knew how to do all those things, which taunted me later because then as time grew, I didn't want to respect time because I had to deal with time so young. Like shit.
And how old were you?
6.
So
when things began, like here's your key. This is the bus stop, the paper, this is where you go, and this is where you need to be, and I had to follow directions and do what was asked and be on point, or I would be stuck out, you know what I mean? So that led to other things, and then being in order, where you go to church every day, your father is in the church, and the stepmother's in the church, and then there's a baby brother, and there's rooms. I never had a room of my own. And now, I mean, there's meals calculated. You're going to have dinner. You're going to have breakfast. You're going to have lunch. You know, you're going to have a bedtime. You know, are you going to listen to what I say?
Yes.
You're going to do what I say.
Yeah.
To like, what is this, you know, and having to learn that relationship. And then that was abruptly disturbed because people make choices, you know, and it, unfortunately that choice or the choice left me out again. And then now I'm back at not having very much again, you know, which was a shock again. You go 2 years or 3 years with having, and then you remember not having, then to not having again, and then that have was stronger because now I'm 15 and no stability again. Almost is what was left. I came right back to, but deeper. You know, this time there's alcoholism and drug abuse, and then there's perversion. You know, a man wanting someone else's child. You know, don't see me as a child, you see me as a woman. Because figuratively my body was shaped, and that was alluring for you because you didn't care for my mother or yourself.
Help somebody.
You know, so you can't see me in the light that I'm actually in because you don't have your light on. So that was the issue. And that led to me being out there in the streets because I just wasn't going to purposely sit and allow someone to abuse me some more. I just wasn't going to do it. And so, but that led to more abuse. Because now I'm out there in the street going through the processes of what a 15-year-old kid, female black kid, and lesbian would go through. So it was so many. I really wasn't a boy crazy girl. I was a girl crazy girl. You know, and my father had it mixed up because I couldn't tell him. You're a man of God. So I can't tell you that, no, you're wrong. I'm not out here looking at a boy, dealing with a boy. I'm actually at a girl's house. You know, I've actually been playing around with a girl.
Church can handle that. Church can handle that. Church can handle that. They, you know, church can't handle that. The real. They can't handle the realness. You know. And what I tell everyone, not to cut you off, but I just need to interject right there because I think that's very impactful because we have allowed the church to kind of judge us and put us in a place where we are sheltering, living our lives. When the individuals that are behind the pulpit that are speaking to us every Sunday, telling us how to live our life, is doing the same very thing that they're telling you behind the pulpit not to do. But I just wanted to, you know, just put a little bookmark right there so you can go ahead and pick back up where you left off. Insert. I just had the insert right there.
Insert, but yes, and so I mean, he didn't ask. You know, you just ask about a boy, I tell you no, and then you didn't ask anything else, and so we left it at that. You know, and so moving forward from that. It continued. The space continued abruptly in many ways. Got connected with a girl who was in love with me, but had me going through so many things. And I do mean physical things, physical abuse, verbal abuse, because, you know, I depended on you. You know, I needed somewhere to lay my head at night. And I wanted to feel safe, and it felt safe, but it really wasn't because she was abusive, and we fought, and we had things words expressed, and she was in quote unquote wealthy, come from a wealthy type of lifestyle. Her mother was a lawyer, lived in a nice home in Oak Cliff, really ducked off, you wouldn't know it even existed. And she was a well-to-do young woman or young lady. Actually, she was younger than I, a year younger than I, but so much more life and street experience. You know, you used to swing on the pole, you were doing certain things at a young age in a hush because your mother has a particular light. But drug me into it in some things. Some areas some things I just couldn't participate in. I wasn't going to give my body to just anybody. I didn't say I didn't, but I wasn't going to give it to just anybody. You know, there were things that came along with that, you know, and you want to eat. Okay.
Yes.
You know, you want somewhere to stay. Okay. You know, and those were the things I had to endure until I no longer wanted to endure that. Which was another decision, you know, and I was always making some decisions that put me in another position, that put me in someone else's hands to determine how my well-being was going to be, until I finally came to a place that said, stop, that's enough. I can't do this like this anymore. It's going to take my life. and I have a contract to fulfill. That although I did not realize the contract until much later, but I knew that I got things I got to do, and this is not a part of it. I'm way too needed for this, you know, and this need is not even really considered need. This is a want. People are wanting me in this sector.
Yeah.
You want a body. Yeah. You want sexual activity. You want to lean on me for whatever it is you want to lean on me for. I need to move out of the want sector and move into the need.
Oh my goodness.
So.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Move out of the want into more of a need sector. Wow. Wow.
And that moment was the driving force to be more, to know more, to feel more, to experience more, express more, enjoy more, because this is what it's about. And that pushed me into motherhood, which was a tough thing because my son's father and I, we've known each other since we were 7 and 8. We have the same last name. I mean, we kind of just grew up together. He was my best friend. Yeah. And he knew who I was. Yeah. So I felt comfortable with him. Yeah. When I decided that, okay, well, let me try this way. Right. I felt comfortable with him. I've known him forever. And he knew that I preferred a girl at the time over a boy. Right. So there wasn't going to be a push and pull on that. Right. And it wasn't. I was allowed to be myself. Right. But a baby came along. Right. Changed the whole formula. Changed the whole formula, David. Wow. Changed the whole formula. And unfortunately for he and I, it could not move forward because you couldn't see the change. You couldn't accept the change that he had become my number one. He had become my number one. And I later had to undo that number one. But he became my number one. And because he became my number one, I made a whole lot of life changes. I didn't want to drink. I didn't want to party. I didn't want to hang with a particular group of people because that was going to inflict harm on my son, who the divine was so gracious to give me a balance. I'm female, you give me a male. So you give me the opportunity to experience balanced energy from my own divine body. Yes. So then that opened up another place for me to find peace, hope, love, and experience joy, because he turned on a mechanism inside of me that I didn't even know existed. I was pulling out of things that I had to be lineages and years and lifetimes before, because no one had taught me. No one taught me motherhood. No one taught me this type of love. So it had to be lifetimes before. Yes. I'm ancient. Period. This is an ancient being sitting here in the physical form, but the soul inside of me, which brings upon my mixed breed, the soul upon me is what led the rest of me and gave me more options, gave me more opportunities to actually experience self. Wow. Which is what many are looking for. And yearning for. Yes. Yes. Yes, most definitely. Experiencing self. So he and then 2 others came along and they became my driving force that I later had to recant. I love y'all and you are my children and you are a sweet piece of me, but you are not my number one. No one or anything on the planet is my number one. I am. Yes. My soul is my number one. My most important relationship that I neglected because it wasn't pointed out, because it never is, because we're not taught that. We're taught about everything outside of us rather than everything within us. So when I learned the inner and got to know the inner, it brought me to where I am now, where I cannot be shaken. It doesn't matter what's going on. We right now can be moving. The world can be moving. I'm going to sit right back and I'm going to relax. And I'm going to say, soul, what's up? What we doing now? Wow. Where we going now? Wow. And I'm fine with whatever you want to do. Let's do it.
Wow. Let me tell you, I believe in universal forces and alignment in the universe. Now, I'm sure, did you read the latest blog that I wrote on day before yesterday? I think it was yesterday.
No, I didn't.
Be honest, because I want you to be honest, because this is what I'm trying to get across. This is what I'm trying to express. Every single thing that you're saying right now is applicable to the blog that I wrote 2 days ago. Wow. The blog was how to handle the storm that's out of your control. And I gave 6 principles, and one of those principles, you spoke on 2 of them. One of them was relax, stay calm, right? And another one was be patient. You don't know when it's going to end. You don't know when it's going to start. You don't know how long it's going to be. Just relax. Just chill. Let me tell you, the world is already frantic. We live in a frantic world. If you have a circle of friends that's always frantic and nervous about what's going to happen next, don't hang around those kind of people. I've eliminated myself from worriers. I don't like to be around worrying people. I don't like to be around people that always use the word if and have the negative connotation to it. Like, those are not the type of people that you want to surround yourself by. But there are so many great things, Tracy, that you said about your personal experience. And look, first of all, thank you. Because we have enough fake people in the world today. We have enough artificial camouflage people in the world today, which has the world in the shape that it's in right now. The churches, the organizations, the world, the government, too many fake faces. But I really value and thank you for your transparency. But there's one thing out of everything that you said that I want to highlight on is when you said that you felt safe in an abusive situation. There's so many people that are out there that you think that you are not in an abusive relationship because you feel safe. But it doesn't make sense. How can you be safe in something that is yet harmful to you? So I'm telling you, please apply the many fundamentals and principles that's shooting out of this young lady's mouth, and she's not even aware of the strong wisdom that's coming out that can help somebody, because every single personal experience that she spoke of just now, from the recovery time as a child, you know, from the alone child aspect, that's why we connect. I'm an only child too. So, the pain that you experience, I guarantee you, someone that's tuned in right now, your story will be impactful to them, and that's the whole purpose of that. With that being said, I'm sure I heard you say tonight that you couldn't bring your son around certain circles because you didn't, the energy that was coming from those circles, you didn't want to impact your son. Not only for your son, but for yourself. I'm sure that you had to surround yourself around positivity. Some type of positive beings, whether if it was things, whether if it was people, whether if it was atmospheres that you surrounded yourself. But I'm sure that it had to be some type of positivity. I want you to talk to us tonight and help somebody. Why is it imperative and important to surround yourself around just that positive drive, that positive force?
Why is it important?
Yeah.
Because without it, you'll die. Without it, you won't live. You can't. It's impossible. And when I say that, I mean, I'll break it down to you in this space. When I say that, I mean mentally you will die, physically you will die, an aspiration that will die. Everything about you, your being, your surroundings, your inner, your outer will die. It cannot live. The soul refuses to live in a negative space. It refuses.
Oh my goodness.
So
keep talking. Don't mind me. I just get excited sometimes,
That's the most important thing, and many don't realize that that's a part of death. That's why death is occurring, because the soul is ejected. I'm out of here. I'm not going to deal with this. You don't want to eat right. I'm telling you. I'm whispering to you. Hey, don't eat that. I'm giving you that information when you get ready to put it in your mouth, and you still do it anyway, and the soul sits back in the cut. Okay, don't be with that person. You still allowing that to go on, rather it be something that they look at you like they love you, but the energy that they succumb themselves with is the opposite of what they're giving you. I mean, because the words are one thing, the action is another, and then you combine them both together because you need to have the balance of it all, and they don't fit, they don't work. Then your soul is telling you, no, eject. I'm telling you, back away.
Eject.
the energies and things that and people that you surround yourselves with, the vita that you decide you chasing a certificate or diploma or a college degree, and the divine, the soul in you saying, that's not what I said for you. That's not the direction. That's why you can't pass that exam. That's why you don't get along with that professor. This is why you can't get into this school, because that's not what I had designed for you. And then you may still go ahead and do all of those things, get wrapped up in the person, get wrapped up in the vita, get wrapped up in the food and the drinks and things that you decide that you want to do, the human part of you wants to do. The soul eventually says, I'm deucing. So that's where you get your high blood pressure from. That's where you get your diabetes from. That's where you get your headaches from. This is where you get all these issues where you're having sexual transmitted diseases from. This is where you're getting all these issues from, because the soul is saying, you know what? I'm tired of protecting you, because that's what I've been doing. I protect you from above you to below you, around you, and you're not respecting the protection. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move on. I'm going to go ahead and eject from this particular body. And perhaps I catch you next lifetime. Maybe. Maybe not. Because the soul has a decision. Do I want to come back and give you another opportunity? Or do I move on to someone who's actually going to use that opportunity for the contract that we agreed upon?
That's deep.
Which one we're going to do.
That's deep.
So if you're stressing, your body is not right, your mind ain't right, the people you're not around is not right, the home won't stay together. Well, because it's not supposed to, and you keep making something happen that ain't. The soul is telling you right up front, I'm not with this boogie. You want to keep dancing to this music and it don't make sense. I don't get these hurts. I don't get these hurts. So either you want to work with me and dance with me, you want to dance with the world, and dancing with the world, you won't dance long.
Did you guys hear what she said about surrounding yourself around positivity? You have to eject yourself from negative people. Eject yourself from negative people. If it's spouses or whatever, husband, wife, partner, whatever it is, boyfriend, girlfriend, eject if they're negative. Family, if they're negative, eject yourself from them, right? Co-workers, right? Acquaintances, whatever. You will die. She said you will die. Like, how imperative is that? Like, surrounding yourself around positive people dictates your next step and where you're going to go in life. You know, because they don't believe in you. They may sound like they believe in you. They may say those words that they believe in you. They're going to cheer you on and everything. But deep down within, they are not on your team. And let me tell you, you better recognize, it took me the age of 30. I turned 38 yesterday. So 37, the age of 37. Between the age of 35 and 37, I was able to cut negative things, negative people from my life, because I couldn't get to the next stage in life because I was dying. And I'm glad that at the beginning of 2018, God put in my heart, in my heart and in my soul, that I needed to make some changes, that I needed to do some things. I fasted from alcohol for 90 days, girl. And I did not have a relationship with my son at all. And everyone who's probably looking at this, they know about it. I didn't have a relationship with my son. I had to separate myself from some things. I had to separate myself from some people. And I gave up, and I brought self-discipline back in my life. So I gave up alcohol. I had friends that were around me were saying, man, you crazy. No one is going to want to hang around you. You know, no one's going to want to deal with you, or no one's going to want to, go out with you anymore because, you don't drink anymore. But my soul, my life, my destiny was more important than hanging with friends and going to the club and chilling. I gave up alcohol for 90 days. On the 90th day of my fast, my son called me. And of course, we're going to talk about that later on in some other, interview. But I just had to put that right there because you said some great things. When you surround yourself around negativity, you're killing yourself daily. It's an internal death. You're dying slowly because, just like she said, there's a voice that tells you that you need to shake and move around. But what it is that we hold on to things that, as she mentioned, or as she referenced, the divine is trying to separate, but we're holding on. In a process of us holding on, we are experiencing pain. when you can just let it go. Oh my God, eject it. Man, that is so awesome. Your drive and your personal experiences and just the knowledge and wisdom that you share with us tonight about surrounding yourself around positive people. Now, we're in this dispensation, this time right now where today is what? December the 28th? December the 28th.
Yes.
In a couple more days, we'll be into 2019.
Yes.
So I want you, in your own words, coming your own way. I want you to tell someone that's listening right now. Help them to leave the past in the past in 2018 where it is. And how can they do that? Just talk to us about however in your own way. Help somebody to leave whatever is back there to be able to prepare for what's coming ahead.
Okay. I'll give you a small analogy and then I'll move forward. You eat the chips, and the bag is empty. Why do you keep reaching in and you know there's nothing there? It's an empty bag. There's nothing in there. What are you going in there for? What are you looking for? Nothing's there. Same as if you answer the phone is ringing, you know that on that other end, it's past conversations, past lies, same thing, same old motion, ain't nothing gonna change. But why would you pick up to the same damn thing? Like, why? Why are you gonna answer the phone and you know already what the conversation
I see hearts, they feeling you.
I'm just saying, if you already know what they're gonna say, why don't you pick up the phone for someone who got some new shit to say to you?
Yeah.
Got some new English.
Yes.
You know, teach you a new word.
New shit.
Offer you a book to read. You know what I mean? Talk about things that are outside of the United States of America. Let's find out what's going on in Beijing. You know, what can we do outside
The lights is coming
of
in.
this?
The lights is coming in. Talk, girl. Talk.
Where we can progress to. That is the space. Let that shit go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's meant to be in the commode white with water to push, to flush, to let the shit go. For it to disappear and you cannot go dive behind the shit. Once you flush it, the hole is too small to get. Why squeeze your ass through something you can't? Only your fingers can go through there. Why do you want not even half of you to make it? So leave that shit in the past where it belongs. And the process in doing that, the process is discovering self. Everything that you're looking for, as I said in the beginning, is already with you. You're not missing a thing. You were born with it all. Everything you needed. You had breath, sight, touch, taste, feel, along with some other instincts that you hadn't even tapped into because you feel with so much shit.
Wow.
When you let that go, then you start to be able to experience all the things that the divine had already for you that you could relate to like this. It started popping off like this. You just got like, I knew that already. Well, yes, of course you did, but you wasn't making room for me. So make room for me because your soul is not going to tussle with you. The soul is not going to tussle with the human parts of you. The soul going to sit back, lean back, and be patient.
Yes.
And wait for its moment like double dutch. Just like, okay,
yes,
my turn.
Yes.
You ready? Well, let's ride. And the ride with the soul is going to be so much sweeter, so much easier, so you can see it. You're not even asking questions anymore because you already know the answer. The questions are no longer, you put the question mark up and then you start adding periods and exclamation marks and quotations and shit. You start moving forward, literally, and you're gliding through it like it's nothing. You're walking on water like they say Jesus did.
Yeah.
It just started happening for you. You know what I mean? And that was just giving an analogy. But the reality is if you start having a relationship, reconnecting, not remember in the mental, but remember in the physical. Go inside you, spend time with you, take yourself to dinner, sit down, dine, and enjoy. Have a glass of wine, candlelight, sip and enjoy. Go to a movie that is of something that uplifts you, not some horror, not some sexual beast stuff going on, but something that's going to teach you and give you some information that they're hiding in it. Go sit down and listen and decode some stuff.
Wake up.
Go walk in a park. You know, go enjoy self-time. And then when it's time to merge your mixed breed with someone else's mixed breed, you're going to be able to sniff that breed and be able to, no, you're not for me. And with a smile, thank you. And move forward. You won't even have to go through the tussle and the harm and the bad and broken relationships, because brokenness don't have time to be shattered again. Once you get whole and you become one again, and the pieces are put back together and the puzzles are already together, do you want someone come removing the puzzle piece? Or do you want someone to pull up with that puzzle already together and make the picture prettier?
Wow, that is great. That is great. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I see all the responses coming through, guys. I see your hearts. I see your likes. Let me tell you, this has been an amazing experience. I know my camera and my light is not that good, but you could probably see the hair standing up on my arms right now. Let me tell you, this young lady has really helped me to see some things within myself, and also to see some things within the Rise with David that we need to move forward for. And what we're going to do is we're going to say to 2000. That's nothing but the that's my boy. But look, this is what we're going to do. Okay, we're going to look at 2018 and we're going to say flush it. Flush it in 2018. Flush it in 2018. Now, Tracy, aren't there some things that you have, like T-shirts and some things that you're working on right now that you want to tell us about?
Yes, it's my baby.
And I apologize. That was David the Third calling me. He don't know that that his father is live right now in this great interview. But he'll be okay. I'll call him back after this call. But yeah, talk to us about some things that you're doing right now.
So I'm juggling some things. I'm actually, my middle son, I keep going back and forth with him on drawings and doing certain things for me because it's my baby and I'm really quiet about them. I'm going to call them because it's a mixture. That's where mixed breed comes from.
Mm-hmm.
Mixed breed is the soul.
Mixed breed, LLC, yes.
Mixed breed in the human. That's what I consider mixed breed.
Yeah.
The soul and the human coming together and mixing and making life happen, making it better.
Wow.
And then blackbird, and I refer to myself as a blackbird, and on my tattoos I have them everywhere.
Wow.
Because most people are afraid of blackbirds and don't realize how beautiful they are.
Wow.
If you actually get an opportunity, everything about a blackbird is black. Their eyes is black, their nails are black, their legs are black. They're black through and through. What more beauty than to have something that can fly, reaching sky heights and levels, seeing above what you can see and still not harm you. And that's what I consider myself, a blackbird. I consider myself a blackbird in many areas, and I fly. Even though it's been hard, it's been tough, it's been a lot, it's been painful, it's been exhausting. I've had many opportunities of giving up, and I told that person, that being, no, suicide is not an option. I'm not giving up. Although there were times when it was a tug, like I really would get in the middle of the floor and say divine, and at that time it was really God. I would say, God, why do you have me here? And I remember the answer, because you asked. Baby, you asked to come and experience life in the flesh, and so here you are, and experience it. Experience it, express, and then learn to enjoy. So then I had to snatch that whole idea of suicide. Move on. I'm sorry. I'm not going to take away my opportunity now to be able to actually experience. Then I couldn't, because I didn't know any better. Now I know better, so there's no need to look for that way out. I don't need suicide, and I don't need drugs and alcohol. I don't need sexual activities that are beyond what it was for, created to experience energies and love and light amongst a being. I had to walk away from those things. So with that being stated, and with that being my space, I was able to come to this place and say, I'm ready. Wow. I'm ready to experience, and that's what blackbird means. I'm ready to fly. And so I'm going to, when time comes, give you those things to wear, support, and share. And blackbird is under an umbrella for everything, for sexual abuse, for suicide attempts, for separations, hardships, but you're flying. You're flying, baby. It is what it was, but it's going to be better than if you continue to fly. Soar. Forward.
And whatever Arise with David can do to push you or catapult you into that next dimension of your space, we're there because I believe in you.
Thank you.
We've been knowing each other now for about a couple of years, about 3 years. We've been knowing each other, and we've even had lunch over at Cosmic Cafe. And it's just your aura and your drive. It's intriguing to me. And at the end of the day, it's like back then we met and we're going to work on some things now, but everything has a time to it.
That's right.
And now we're back at
that place.
Yeah. And this is going to be a place of manifestation.
Yes.
Immediately.
Yes.
Not no wait. The wait time is over. You know, you may hear people talking, the wait is over. The wait is over. No, not the spiritual wait is over. Things that you have spoken to happen in your life, now's the time for it to start happening. Matter of fact, things are happening right now. Right before the interview, if she don't mind me sharing this, Tracy said, you have ignited something in me. Yeah. In igniting something in someone, there's someone that you know that has something within them that they don't see in themselves. Push them to move forward. Push them to do the greatness and fulfill the greatness that's in them. Just as we are right now. Tracy, again, I appreciate you tonight. Is there anything else that you have?
Just, stay connected with yourself. And if you hadn't begun getting connected, take the time. And all it takes is sitting down and being quiet.
Yes.
Just be quiet.
Yes.
Turn your phone off, cut the TV off, cut on the music, sit.
Yes.
And enjoy just being alone sometimes.
Yes.
And then when it's time to merge with someone, it'll be easy. It'll be like butter, baby.
Yes. My son is really trying to get in contact with me, but I know that I'm going to look back at these videos one day when we're on the platform and we're going to have cameramen, tuned in on this, and I won't have to worry about getting up, touching my cell phone and stopping the call from coming through. But Tracy, again, thank you so much. There's greatness all over you, and there's more greatness to come, and I can't wait to get there. Now, if the people want to connect with you in any form or fashion, are you on any type of social media, Facebook, Instagram, or anything like that?
Yes, my Instagram is NYC Hymes, so it's NYCHYMES 42.
Okay.
And there's an email address that you can also, if there's questions or you just want to bring out more energy, you want to talk to me more, then I have this available for you, and it is Latrice, LATRICE.JONES at usmd.com.
Yes.
And then from there we'll move to a different light.
Yes.
But I have to say to you, thank you.
Oh,
yes, you have ignited something in me. A surge is what I said.
Wow.
And I'm in ever gratitude to you because this has given me the light that I needed.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yes.
Physically
Yes.
and spiritually.
Yes.
You've given me a light that I feel like you're ready.
Great.
It's time.
Great. It is time. It is time. And even for you right now that's watching, it's time. All of those principles and fundamentals that she went over today, it's time for you to apply those things to your life. It's time for you to flush 2018 and get ready for the great things that's getting ready to happen in 2019. But just like my quote says, the words you speak today drives your tomorrow. Let me tell you, it's very important that you believe that. You have to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in you, you can't expect no one else to believe in you. So while you are watching us tonight, we thank you for logging in. But Arise with David, we're here for questions or anything. If you need to reach us, go log on to our website, www.arisewithdavid.org. If you have any questions about the live interview today, we'll be more than happy to answer your questions. Again, we thank you. And as you continue to arise with David, David's going to continue to arise with you. We thank you. You guys have a great new year, and we look forward to seeing you in 2019.